On Monday, April 14th, 2025, the peer-reviewed sociology journal Socius published an article called Breaking Free from the Iron Cage, a striking title. Why was breaking free of the iron cage so arresting that even the lofty physics outlet, Phys.org, gave it space? Study Finds, an outlet that sums up the latest eye-catching scientific research, said breaking free of the iron cage showed that Americans are losing their religion. Let me repeat that. Americans are losing their religion. That's a stark statement. Study Finds explained that the proportion of study participants who check a box for no religion at all has risen from 1 in 20 to more than 1 in 4 in just a few decades. That's a rocket rise from 5% with no organized religion to 25% with no organized religion. Study Finds goes on to explain that young Americans are leaving organized religion in record numbers, with weekly church attendance dropping from 44% to 13% over a decade. But there's more. Says Study Finds religious affiliation dropped 29%, plummeting from nearly 89% to about 60%. However, there's a sunny side to this dark religious picture. The data from breaking free of the iron cage hints that this is not the end of spirituality, it is a new beginning. Many young people maintain personal spiritual beliefs and practices, as Study Finds. In other words, as Study Finds explains it, young Americans are breaking up with the institution rather than with faith itself. They are finding their own God in their own way. And that way often involves some element of Buddhism or other Eastern religion. In fact, the research says that from 2003 to 2013, the Asian practice of meditation nearly doubled from 12% to 21%, while personal prayer, the Western way of making religion portable and personal, went down. Study Finds sums it up like this: parishioners are fleeing the church, yet keeping their faith. A headline from the Barna Group, a Christian polling organization that specializes in studying the intersection of faith, culture, and public opinion, put it like this: as long ago as 2009, Christianity is no longer Americans' default faith. But back to the research and escaping the iron cage. As persuasive as this study sounds, it has a huge shortcoming. It's based on a survey that tracked 1,348 individuals born in the late 1980s from adolescence through early adulthood, collecting data through both surveys and in-depth interviews. That sounds impressive until you look at the fine print. Breaking free of the iron cage's data was collected between 2003 and 2013. It is 12 years old, 12 years out of date, and things change fast in the world of fads, fashions, and religions. So, what is the truth today? Are young people still dropping out of churches, synagogues, and mosques and turning to a personal connection with the spiritual? The answer, surprisingly, is yes. According to a flurry of Pew surveys, the percentage of those who checked a box indicating no religion nearly doubled from 2010 to 2025, leaping from 16% in 2007 to as much as 31% in the early 2020s, and hanging in at that high number for the last 5 years straight. However, the Christian Barna Group adds a twist. Its State of the Church 2025 initiative contends that 66% of U.S. adults affirm a personal commitment to Jesus that remains vital, a 12-point leap from 2021's record low of 54%. In other words, Pew says organized religion is on a sharp decline, but the Barna Group implies that though Christians may be dropping out of the church, many are taking their personal connection to Jesus with them. In other words, even a major Christian polling organization implies that Jesus can be worshiped outside the church in your own personal, portable, spiritual space. But even Barna confesses that many young people are abandoning Christianity entirely and going with a pick and choose approach to what they believe. This is Howard Loom speaking to you from the future. It's your job and my job to make, and ignore all those screaming blue jays behind me. Nature is wildly doing its thing. Or want to know why? Ask how. Howard the Humongous. Okay, now I have to figure out how to turn this off.